vulnerable to what you don't know and to what you think that everybody on the street knows. I am very moved by that, and I think that is the characteristic that defines our students. When I look at you, I mean, there are a lot of bright, competent people out in the world, but I don't think that many have courage, not that kind. I just think it's really tough to do that and to do it twice a week and to tell your friends that's where you're going, and especially your friends or children who know how to use the computer. And I had a question today, which is it really that hard? Well, for those of you who think it's not that hard, let me mail you a big box of bike parts without any information that it's even a bike and tell you to make it work right away. And you're going to find out it's very hard. It's very hard. And we have this huge range of students. We've had a huge number come through involved with Michigan Works who are looking for job skills preparatory. And as a matter of fact, we have at least 2 today who have gone through 12 weeks of our program, who have come every day at 8:30 for the lab, stayed for class, stayed after. They've made it their job, and I believe part of the reason they're not here today is because they have a very rigorous schedule in terms of Michigan Works and things they're doing to find jobs. But we have other reasons people are here too. If you have ever gone to Myers to apply for a job, you walk in, you know, it's day to day, it looks like the old thing, and they say hello and they put you in front of a computer to fill out your application. That's not a job skill for working, that's a job skill to get a job. And we're doing that also. We have a number of students in our class who've gone through who want to know how you go on the web. How do you create a resume? How do you go through a website that says do not send application by mail? That's a whole new world. So that's another group that we have. We have people coming from different places. We have Javier came through, Cristo Rey, that's one of our new partners. So you don't have to do all your basics here. We're trying to establish where you can come from a lot of different places. We have, I'll try not to go too much by names, but Jerlene's been here a long time, and I think it's okay with you. She didn't even know how to type at all. So she had to spend a lot of extra, and I don't mean touch typing even. I mean, where's the enter key? And she came in and spent time on a typing tutor, because it turns out before you can use the computer, you have to just know where things are on a keyboard. I mean, it's really tough. We have retired people who are looking for work. We have retired people, I'm looking at you, who just want to be able to interact with your grandchildren. We have people who are parents who it turns out they can communicate with their children, you know who you are, with their children's teacher. Because unlike the days when I had kids in school, you're supposed to email now. It's a huge range. Can you listen to all those things you need to do that you felt you couldn't do or you could do better, and now many of you are doing them? And I would challenge most of our most educated people in this world to take something that so many people know how to do that they don't know how to do and put a sign on their back saying, I don't know how to do it either. Most of us allow ourselves to not learn that new thing. And that's what I applaud more than anything else as I look at you. One of you got a job in the middle. Nice, right? And get off at I think around 7 in the morning or something, and instead of going home to bed and dropping out of the course, keeps coming here. Exhausted, as I look at you, but you know, keeps coming. That's not easy. That's easy to leave. So we have ages, I don't know the youngest of you, but I know among the oldest, perhaps not the oldest, but I want to speak to somebody who couldn't be here today because she's in the hospital with broken ribs, but she's my mother, who at 88 decided that there was a lot to learn in the world. And she wanted to come today because of her friends. And she said that there's always something new to learn. So we have an enormous range of reasons. We have a singular characteristic of courage, discipline, motivation, that kind of goes without saying. You couldn't do it otherwise. And I also want to point out one other thing. Ben Kidder is here today, who came through our basics class and then took our office class, showed us something in particular. So in addition to jobs, Ben was writing a book, and Ben did not know how, so he had this published later, but he was writing this on a computer, didn't know how to put pictures in. Now, some people would say, well, you know, where's that secretary? She'll do. Ben wrote this, and since the class, he learned how to insert photos. And so some of you have learned a lot, and I think in terms of some of the job characteristics you're looking at, that's pretty remarkable. And he said he will be available during the party part to talk to you about not only his life, but really the story of the 8th Air Force and 1,000 days before World War, before Japan, and also things afterwards, history as well as his own thoughts. I think that's a concrete thing that's remarkable. The student who got a job is remarkable. The student who still, and I can speak to one of you, who still feels she doesn't know very much because she's uneasy and came back for our second class, that's remarkable. Some of you will be getting your computers today, and some of you will be returning for another 4 weeks and then become eligible, and some of you got what you wanted. And we hope you'll just spread the word, but I really applaud you. One of you, now this is really the student, this is the speaker who gets the longest time to speak if he wants to. Because he's really, I mean, Mike Belcito is here because he was our student on 2 different occasions, and if we didn't have you, what would we have? And Mike came through our basics class and then had a really extremely serious family illness. He couldn't continue. And you know how most of the time we're all looking for a reason not to do something hard. So I thought that was your reason. It was hard. He came back. And I was lucky enough to have him as my student this last time, because I don't know all of you because we've grown, but it's always fun. So I think Mike, having been in a couple classes now, can really speak to why you might want to do this. But you all have your own reasons. So, Mike?
Still morning, I guess. I get for ITEC today. I do actually want to thank the partners. This is fabulous. It's a great experience. We talked my previous career. I was taught not to be intimidated. I had to set up computer systems. I had to support people. The problem I had was I had support people around me to do all the computer work. So it was very easy for me in my life, in that work life, to just say, here you go, I need this done. Well, I got left behind, basically. My children, my spouse, they're all very computer literate. I was not. Of course, I had an email. I knew what to do, when to do it, how to do it, when I needed to, but I chose not to. I just continuously pushed it away. So intimidation, it was intimidating to me to come here and just say, hey, I don't know, please help. And the biggest thing that to when you're out there, it's a friendly atmosphere here. I got to say it. It's great. You know, we talk about parking down at LCC. Nothing against LCC, City of Lansing, or anything like that, but very difficult. Here, you drive up, it's there, it's available. You walk in, and the instructors. I can't say enough about the instructors. There's a couple of them in the room today, and very supportive of the students. Never, yes, absolutely.